People are out here demanding limiting internet services to each household, capping it. For what? Because some moron wrote a scare piece about gamers gobbling up all the bandwidth? Well, I'm about to show you the guy that wrote that article is not only a Hollywood shill, in my opinion, but also the data laughs in his face so deliciously. I know you're going to love this video. Before we jump into it, just a very quick word from this video's sponsor. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Total AV. You know, as all my fellow YouTubers seem to be in an unending defense against various cyber attacks, including malware, viruses, and phishing URLs, it made me think about just how important it is to have an antivirus still in 2020. These things affect all users of all computers and smartphones. In fact, many Mac users still feel like they're totally immune to that when a recent report shows a nearly 260% increase in viruses and malware directed specifically at Mac computers. What is spyware? Well, along with malware and phishing URLs, they are the most common kind of threat you'll face. They secretly record your activity, harvest your data and personal information and surfing habits. They run in the background quietly, which is why you need an antivirus suite. Total AV protects you against all of these things. For you, the quartering subscribers, you can get a huge 80% off the 1-year premium package, which includes a VPN on up to 3 devices. Make sure you protect your PC or Mac today by getting Total AV now through the link in the description or pinned comment below. All right, well, it all started with what apparently was a very viral tweet. Now, what I saw was Mark Curran's tweet about it, saying Hollywood would like you to stop gaming so they can stream their 4K bandwidth busting bad movies, please. Game developer here. Games use very little bandwidth compared to Netflix. Why aren't you telling people to not watch your movies? They consume orders of magnitude more. Very true point. Very true point. The original tweet from, let's see, Dave Vesio. He went from, he's a Hollywood guy with 500,000 followers, apparently. He starred in a bunch of stuff I never heard. Okay, so congratulations. So, breaking news. Video game players are urged to play at reasonable times to avoid putting a strain on internet networks during this situation. Online gaming is the biggest threat to internet bandwidth these next few weeks. What? This is like, what? There's actually no science around this anyway. Here's Dolan Dark. Thanks for the warning. I've completely stopped all online video gaming and will only watch 4K YouTube videos instead. I also recommend you should stop tweeting. It uses as much data as video games. 1 hour of 4K Netflix is around 11 gigabytes. That equals several days of continuous gaming. Delete this tweet. It's misinformation. Why did you post this stupid tweet? And then we can look at actual data of hourly bandwidth usage, okay? So this is the average amount of bandwidth in megabytes per hour. I'm not sure, I think it's megabytes, used by various forms of online entertainment. It probably is megabytes because it'd be a little b if it was megabits. So you can see like PUBG 40 per hour, Fortnite 70, CSGO is the biggest or one of the biggest with 250 megabytes per hour. Destiny 2 is 300. You can look at Call of Duty at 40, World of Warcraft 40. This is almost nothing. All right, now let's look at some TV and movie streaming services. Netflix HD, 3,000 megabytes an hour. That's 3 gigs. Netflix 4K, 7 gigs. Gigs, not megabytes, 7,000 megabytes. How about watching any of these? Stan 4K, 7,000. ABC iView, 300. Any TV show, any video programming is eating up more bandwidth than any video game is. But who is Rick Henderson? Well, he is the senior editor of news and features for a website that nobody's heard of. Rick has been a tech and gaming journalist since the 80s, and he's seen just about every console, mobile phone, gadget, and home entertainment device launched in the last 30 years. He's been in charge of the news desk on Pocket-Lint for more than 7 years and develops and writes new ideas and features. In previous roles, he has worked and edited Home Cinema Choice, blah, 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 blah. So it's interesting that he put out this tweet because he didn't actually say who urged them to do so. Let's see some of the articles he writes. The Disney Plus interview. We talked to Disney's president of streaming services on the eve of the UK launch. Okay, so he's shilling Disney Plus. How to watch Netflix. The best UK movie streaming services. He's got the Google Stadia premiere thing. This guy writes about streaming television. How to watch Amazon Prime Video. UK internet network can handle 4K Netflix during this situation.
Wait a minute.
Gaming is the single biggest threat to bandwidth, but 4K video streaming is totally fine. The data does not support that take, Rick Henderson, but that wouldn't stop absolute morons like the Daily Mail picking it up. Video game players are urged to play at reasonable times to avoid putting extra strain on the internet networks. A British video game expert. Really? It doesn't seem that Rick Henderson writes anything about video games to me. It seems like he's constantly shilling streaming video. Gaming can slow down the internet speeds and frustrate people working from home. Online gaming is the biggest threat to internet bandwidth. PC gaming platform Steam reported record numbers of gamers online. Okay, so I'm sure Netflix and Hulu had record numbers of people watching. I'm sure Amazon Prime had record numbers of people watching as well. You absolute brainlet. Video game players have been urged to play at reasonable times. By who? By who? 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 Who is referenced? Who's asking this? Rick? Social distancing means to curb, yeah, we all know that, but gamers have been asked to limit time online during working hours to ensure those self-isolation trying to get their work done aren't affected by slow speeds. UK-based video games expert Rick Henderson said people turning to games during isolation was inevitable as a means of entertainment and social interaction, but he urged players to be aware of going online during working hours. While video streaming services such as Netflix and YouTube are committed to reducing the digital footprint during this, gaming is perhaps the biggest threat to internet bandwidth in the next few months. It almost seems like Rick Henderson is writing this shill piece for his buddies in Hollywood. That's what it seems like to me. PC platform Steam revealed record numbers of gamers online in recent days, recording 20 million players online at once for the first time last weekend. Live figures from the platform also show the platform breaking 20 million mark regularly, according to its own data, which it attributes to everything going on right now. Some services have seen spikes in activity, included FIFA Online Play, Steam Access that will only continue as people turn their gaming devices on to keep entertained during self-isolation. This is understandable as people find themselves forced to withdraw from physical interaction for 12 weeks at least, he said. I don't believe it will be 12 weeks, but that's neither here nor there. Fortnite, Call of Duty, and the like will therefore no doubt become even more popular. But we do need to be aware of the impact on the country's network. Won't somebody think of the digital information superhighway? Won't somebody think? And perhaps game at more reasonable times. In the evening, he say, in order to avoid any impact on important services at work, as consumer internet connections are less robust than the business lines. Child, please, I have better internet at my house than I ever did at work. Work was a huge downgrade for me. Call of Duty Warzone, the new free-to-play game from the series, was released early last week, and within 5 days had already amassed more than 15 million players. Internet service providers have insisted they can handle and already confirmed increases in daytime traffic. So the internet service providers said it's fine, so why are you putting out this scare piece? Last week, telecoms company told analysts that they've seen a 70% increase in internet traffic, but everything seems fine, right? In response to concerns over network capacities across Europe, Netflix and Amazon Prime Video and YouTube have all confirmed they are limiting the image quality of videos to help ease internet traffic. Wow, thanks. So, what? Let's look at the comments. Hilarious, this article makes me laugh. Actual online gaming uses very little in terms of bandwidth unless updates or new map data is being downloaded. Good luck with... and then everyone just calls gamers selfish. Gaming doesn't use that much bandwidth. A lot of people on cable do not realize that their TV usage, if they have a TV package deal, adds to their use of bandwidth and a lot more than gaming. Limit bandwidth to each household now. Are you kidding me? You're literally... These alarmists want to push limiting internet to people's houses. Why? I would absolutely not be surprised. And let me just tell you now, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're already limited by oligopolies in our internet service providers, where they provide us the bare minimum of service for the maximum price they can charge and only upgrade speeds when they absolutely have to. I will 100% stand against any moron who's posing this idea, because look, video games, whether you're playing Doom Eternal or maybe you're playing some Animal Crossing or you're playing Call of Duty or League of Legends, it doesn't matter. It doesn't use much bandwidth at all. And by the way, even if it did, it's awfully curious that the person writing about this seems to be a Hollywood shill. I'm just saying. Something there, maybe?